This is the late Professor Stephen Hawking. You are listening to the Matt Reigle Files Podcast. Here is your host, Matt Reigle.
And we are off. It is the Matt Reigle Files Podcast. Thank you very much to Steve for that kind intro. Steve, the good doctor. You know, before he passed, I was able to get him to do a quick liner for me. Very nice of him. So, like I said, welcome to the Matt Reigle Files Podcast, a companion piece to the Matt Reigle Files blog, which you can find online at www.themattreigelfiles.blogspot.com. It is one ugly URL, but I promise you it's worth the trip. So, what are we talking about in the first episode here? Well, I can tell you that since yesterday, there's been one thing on my mind. One thing and one thing only. If you read the blog that was posted today, you might know what it is. Since I'm a diehard Philadelphia Flyers fan, the announcement that they are going to have a mascot this season for the first time since 1976 is a big deal to me. They introduced Gritty, who has taken the internet by storm. He practically owns it at this point. I can tell you, when I first saw the picture of Gritty, I didn't know what to think. I didn't think the Flyers knew exactly what they were doing. I thought this was a big mistake. It's already hard enough to defend the Flyers at times. It's been a long time since they won a Stanley Cup. So you really don't want to give the opposition any more ammo to make life difficult for the Flyers faithful. And in comes Gritty, and I'm thinking this is going to be a long year. But then the more I kind of sat there and thought about it, I realized, you know what? Mascots are for kids. Adults really shouldn't have an opinion on a mascot. You know, it's for the kids to enjoy when they don't understand the game that's going on around them. You know, it is what it is. And then I realized, no, Gritty is maybe the greatest mascot in the National Hockey League. He's been around for 24 hours. Gritty embodies everything that is Philadelphia Flyers hockey. Everything. He's divisive. He's ugly. You don't really know what it's supposed to be sometimes. He's perfect. I mean, it's not exactly easy to come up with a mascot for a team called the Flyers. It's a weird name. It's not as simple as, we're the Penguins. Let's have a guy dress up as a penguin and call it a day. Not that easy. So we get a Muppet reject by the name of Gritty, a bearded, lusciously long-locked Muppet reject by the name of Gritty. And a lot of people had a lot of different opinions on him. Some people loved him, some hate him, obviously. But he made his big debut last night at a preseason game between the Flyers and the Boston Bruins. And he lived up to his name. Gritty showed off some grit. He fell multiple times while out on the ice and just got right back up and kept mascotting, which is a new verb that I've invented just now that means to be a mascot. And then not only did he show perseverance and grit, he then used his t-shirt gun as a weapon. That right there should make him a hero to all Philadelphia fans. He shot some guy, I don't even know who it was or what he was doing. He just shot a guy with a t-shirt gun, you know, hit the guy. The guy kind of fell like he was Maud Flanders getting hit with a t-shirt. Simpson fans know what I'm talking about. And here we are, 24 hours later. Gritty goes from laughing stock to a hero. Almost, well, literally overnight, the dialogue on one Gritty, the Philadelphia Flyers mascot, has done a complete 180. He went from being, you know, just completely ridiculed, made fun of, to being embraced. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that as quickly as this. You know, and I love it. I love the fact that other fan bases are going to hate it and make fun of it. You don't want Penguins fans to like anything the Flyers have going on. That would totally defeat the purpose of everything. You know, You don't want Rangers fans coming to Philadelphia and be like, oh, cool, taking pictures with the mascot. No. You want them to not like it. You want your enemies to not like it, and you want your people to love it. And I think that's what we've got with Gritty so far. Time will tell. Like I said, it's been 24 hours. But, whatever happens with Gritty, one thing that does come out of it is we got a boatload of memes and GIFs that are just going to last a lifetime. Really, so far it's been the gift that keeps on giving. Let's see if that continues. Maybe it'll give the Flyers something to rally around. And, hey, if they win a Stanley Cup first year with Gritty as a member of the organization, I mean, I think it's his doing. I think you got to put Gritty's name on the cup. So, for the first episode, we're going to keep it brief. First episode of the Matt Reigle Files Podcast. Just going to try and do episodes semi-frequently. I thought about doing an episode every Tuesday. I wanted to call it the It Feels Like Tuesday podcast, but who knows? I don't know if I'll be able to do it and get it out on Tuesdays. And it also gives me some wiggle room when when I feel like putting out an episode, I put out an episode. But since this one is going to be so short, I wanted to attach a little something. I wanted to attach a clip of a man who I idolize. He's a big fan. I'm a big fan of his. It'd be nice if he was a big fan of mine, but why would he be? No one is. A guy by the name of Cal McCallister. If you don't know him, you owe it to yourself to find out who he is. He's a radio legend. He's been around forever, and he's still doing it. He's still there. Small market radio. He's out in Butte, Montana, and he's a living legend. I mean, he's as important as, dare I say, Marconi, the man who invented radio. So I pulled one of my favorite clips of Cal McCallister. I wanted to share it with anyone that was kind or brave enough to click the link and listen to this. And it's Cal interviewing the legendary host of The Tonight Show, not Jimmy Fallon. Definitely not Jimmy Fallon. The late Johnny Carson. So, I mean, I think this is going to be a real treat. It is Cal McCallister, radio god, talking to Johnny Carson. So thank you very much for listening to the first episode of the Matt Reigle Files. I really appreciate it. And enjoy this clip. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Cal McCallister Show here on WKKZ, the radio station of Butte, Montana. Joining us on the program today is a guy we go way back. Yeah, believe it or not, we have the one, the only Johnny Carson. Johnny, you there?
Oh, yes, hello? Yes. Is this the Cal McCallister Show?
It is, Johnny. Good to have you.
Yes, I'm calling from sunny Burbank, California. Yeah.
Well, that just sounds wonderful. I mean, right here in Butte, Montana alone, we had about 16 inches of snow the other day.
16 inches of snow?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Why, that is a lot of the white stuff.
That's a true fact there. Johnny, how you been? How's the show been doing? For those who don't know, you host a show called The Tonight Show. It's on NBC, isn't it?
Oh, Cal, yes, that's correct. It's
I thought so.
It's a late night talk show. Maybe you've heard of it. It's been around quite some time. But I'm getting up to the end of my run.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, we're gonna be handing over the reins. I might even give them Ed and Doc Severance.
Oh,
yeah,
those guys.
That is a hip band.
Oh, totally.
There's one thing that you can take from the show. It's that we have the hippest band in late night.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's not a hipper band. I can't think of one. That in my day. I mean, that is a rocking and rolling band. If ever I've heard them. And I've heard them, I've heard all the good bands. I mean, all the way back to Cab Calloway and Dizzy Gillespie. There are all sorts of great music, and I would put Doc Severs in that class.
Absolutely.
By himself. Who's going to be taking over? Is he going to be that crazy guy with the glasses he does a 12:30 show? David something.
That's correct. Well, it's David Letterman. He's actually not going to be taking over for me. You know, there was a bit of a controversy. David wanted the show, and I would say, off the record here in Butte, Montana, no one's hearing this, so I'm comfortable telling you that I wanted David to take over the show. And,
you did.
The powers that be, they wanted somebody else. They went with Jay Leno, who of course was hosting my show on days I wasn't there. He was guest hosting, and yes.
Is that the guy with the big chin?
Yes, that's correct. He was the guy with the chin.
Oh, yeah, I thought
correct.
so.
And he'll actually be taking over the reins of the Tonight Show.
Well, that's good. I like that guy. I think he's a funny guy.
He's a funny guy.
He does those headlines.
He does. He does.
Talks about those things he finds in the newspaper.
That's right. Yeah, it's funny.
People cut them out. They send them in. That's a good bit. That's good family entertainment. That's really what I like.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll do a fantastic job taking over the reins of the Tonight Show. I mean, a guy with a chin like that, he's got to have some clever stuff to say. Yeah.
Oh, he'll be great. Now, Johnny, we're almost out of time here, but before you go, can you give us one of those snappy comebacks you have on one of your jokes, bombs?
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to do that without actually telling a joke first, but
didn't you have one about camels? Can you do that?
Okay, yeah, a lot of people like that one. I don't think it's going to work on the radio. You'll have to tune in 11:35 weekday nights to you'll hear them. Some jokes are just not going to work out.
Well, that's true. You can't bat 1,000, as they say. Well, Johnny Carson, thank you very much for joining us on the Cal McCallister show.
Oh, absolutely. It was my pleasure. Great to talk to you, Cal.
Oh, more. It was my honor. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
All right, if you liked what you heard, how about you go check out the blog that bears the same name as this podcast. That's the Matt Reigle Files. And while you're at it, go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Matt_Reigle. Thanks. Bye.
Come on.